All right, everybody, welcome back. So in this video, I wanted to talk about Tradovate for a little bit, just a Tradovate tip of the day. Let's do that, right? So Tradovate used to be in collaboration with a company called Jigsaw, which is an order flow reconstruction, very similar to Bookmap. And that's a benefit because they really worked hard to integrate a lot of those order flow tools into the platform so that if you don't have something like Jigsaw or Bookmap, you can still access a lot of those same tools or concepts or functionalities. So what I'm going to do here is take a picture so we can freeze the screen and it'll quit moving for a moment. And then we will discuss how they have integrated some order flow tools right into the time and sales. So just before we look at the picture, so that you understand what we're looking at here, these are the time and sales, and I've got them filtered to how I want them with nearly no filter there, 18 here and a 40 there. Those have to be adjusted through the day because the kind of flow we get at the open isn't the same kind of flow that we would get, say, around lunchtime or at Globex or, like 7 o'clock at night. So you never know what it needs to be. But how we set those up will be for maybe a different video. What I wanted to show today in this little quick tip video is what this color scheme means. It might seem kind of obvious, but for a lot of traders, they kind of need this missing piece of information. So look at the middle number, 4408 and a half. When we just stayed at 4408 and a half, we had that black background and green writing showing that there was buy orders coming in, but we weren't going anywhere. And so we ticked up into that level. We can see it's barely green underneath. And that then had 89 orders. Then we had one more, and that got us to 90. Two more, and that got us to 92. One more, and that got us to 93. That was 93 orders that came through, and price never moved. And then finally it did, it ticked up again. And when it ticked up, we got that dark green background with the white writing. So when we're watching this, if we see the dark green background or the dark red background, we know that price finally moved. But when it's showing that black background and it's green, for an example, we know that they're doing a lot of buying, but price isn't moving. And if it's a black background with red writing, we know that they're doing a lot of trades on the sell side and price isn't moving. So you can see we ticked up from 4408 and a half to 4408 and 3/4. And then we stayed there getting more work done, but still not moving anywhere. And traders finally gave up, and then we ticked down one. We didn't stay there for very long before we ticked back up again. All right, so just at a glance, we can see what's going on in the order flow. This isn't just regular old time and sales. It's a way for us to visually see if we're hitting a ceiling or an iceberg. Now, this won't necessarily help you see sweeps and blocks, which is why we use the filters. But again, that's for a different video. For this one, it's just to help you identify when price might be hitting some intraday resistance or support and where those ceilings and icebergs might be located. To put these on your chart, what you want to do is go to the plus sign and choose the tick stream. So we'll just put one here really nice and big, and we'll put the ES in there. Hit select, and there you go. Now, one more tip before I let you go is notice what we have here: hour, day, minute, sub-second. And we want to adjust this, right? We don't need this date behind here. It hides the sub-seconds, which we really want to see. So what you want to do is there's a very small little niche right there you want to grab that and you want to move it that way. And I'll tell you now, although it may look easy, it's not always easy. And if you don't get it on your first try, you're almost better off just exiting out of that app and bringing it back and trying again. I don't know why, but you get like one shot and then you end up fighting it if you don't get it on your first try. All right. But now that I do have it moved over, we can see when there are blocks and sweeps without that date and time being in there to block us, right? When you've got hour, minute, seconds, and subseconds, and then you've got all of these orders coming through in a single subsecond, pretty good idea you've got a block or a sweep coming through. Because what they'll do is they'll use the algorithm to fill a bunch of trades really small, 2 lot, 3 lot, 8 lot, something like that. And they'll put 1,000 of them in there. So sure, they just filled a whole bunch of contracts, but you didn't see it because they were small contract sizes instead of just coming in and landing a 1,000 lot on the block, right? So there you go. Some tips for you on Tradovate using time and sales to identify icebergs and ceilings through the color scheme. I appreciate your time, guys. I look forward to seeing you at the next one.